Shalom, Brakte Hawa, Brakte Oshai, Brakte Hawa, Brakte Oshai, Brakte Hawa, Brakte Oshai. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone are rule well. Peace and a blessed salutation unto the Akim that pushes gospel to the four corners of the earth in truth and in sincerity. Say shalom unto the speckled bird Israelites, those that look like the hidden nation, well, the seed of the children Israel. We say shalom to the few but faithful Aquats listening and learning. Right, there's better I rather share with another lesson. Basically, we're going into Luke chapter 22 and verse 31. He said, and the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan had desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat, right? And being in this truth, this is something that we have to, we always have to keep in mind that Satan is always there, trying us, trying to catch we slipping, as the apostles deemed this the turn of that wickedness, wickedness is being pushed on a heavy scale. Sometimes we may end up in situations, whether it be home with a family member or on work or somewhere might go and something arise, Jake's always looking to stir up, trouble, right? That we always have to be what? Circumspect and always, be on the top of the game, keeping that balance and not letting the scale tip over, right? Because the devil, Satan is always there, as I say, waiting for that kink in the armor, to catch we slipping, So you're going to the First Peter chapter 1 and verse 13, and it says, wherefore gird up the loins of your mind, right? And how we gird the loins of our mind is with the scriptures, always being mindful, always being in the scriptures, so that when we see certain things playing out before we face, we will know how to apply that wisdom. The scriptures will come to mind, the scriptures talk about this, they talk about that, and it, it's instructions. It tells us how to deal with these situations that arise, how we should be, how we should walk, right? So this is something that we always have to be mindful of, right? So it says First Peter chapter 1 and verse 13, he said, wherefore gird up the loins of your mind, be sober, and hope to the end for the grace that is to be brought upon you at the revelation of Yahushua HaMashiach, right? Because, at that time that I fall, I fall prey to this, where I end up in certain situations where, I kind of lost it. But then after, within the midst, certain scriptures come to mind, right? It come to mind, but which really and truly, it's supposed to come to mind first, right? So this is something that a lot of brothers could end up, falling to. That Satan always there, and the scripture say that a soft answer turn it away. I believe is wrath. This roughly paraphrasing, right? It have plenty time they could end up in situation we could turn into an argument and lead to something, that didn't have to be. Right? So we always have to be mindful of these things. Right? You'll go to Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 15. He says, see then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. Right? So we're not supposed to, go on like two-thirds. We're not supposed to think like two-thirds. Right? Like the difference, between being in the truth, having the knowledge, and being out there. That we have the knowledge, we have to apply it. Right? Especially in our day-to-day, routines, how we go about things. As I say, it have an old saying that trouble easy to come but hard to leave. So we always have to be mindful of these things. It say, see then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. And we know that what? We need the turn up and wickedness is being pushed on a full scale, you know. Um, these angels on the left hand side, you know, they're working overtime, right, to make sure that the prophecies of the Lord is being fulfilled, right? That this devil does what he's supposed to, right? And that Jake's, they 2/3 of Jake, they do what they're supposed to, right? So as is in the spiritual, so is in the physical, right? He said, verse 17, he said, wherefore be ye not unwise, right? But understanding what the will of the Lord is, right? Because being in the truth, you know, it have a way that we're supposed to walk this thin line, right? As the scripture say, you know, let's let me see, let's let me pull it up here. I believe it's if it's not far on the left, it'll be fire on the right. I believe it's somewhere in the Apocrypha, right? Second is just 7 and verse 7, right? So that we get a precept here. He said the end, he said we'll go from verse 6, second is just 7 and verse 6. He said there is also another thing, a city is builded and is set upon a broad field and is full of all good things, right? Which it speaks about is the kingdom, right? He said the entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water, right? So it's like walking a thin line, right? He said, verse 8, he said, and one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once, right? So this narrow, so this entrance so narrow is that only one man could pass, right? So it's a very thin line we're walking on. You know, it's either you could fall, you know, the fire on your right hand or the deep water on your left, right? You know, which you could fall at any point in time. The slightest thing that you know, you lose focus or you take your mind off the shoot, you know, that you could fall back into the world, right? And Satan, you know, he always there, he always trying to, you know, to get you to come off that line. Right? So going back to is Luke 22 and verse 31. He said, and the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan had desire to have you, that he may sift you like as wheat. He said, but I pray, he says, Salakia, he said, but I have prayed for thee that thy faith fail not. Right? And this is something that we see that, you know, happen over and over, a recurring thing, that through patience, through not having patience, you know, plenty you know, our brothers that it was in truth, you know, the faith failed, right? Even ending up in certain situations, you know, it are brothers that choose the wife and the family over this truth. But we always have to be mindful that what? That these situations, these things is here to test us, you know? You know, you know, there's a scripture that say he that that just now, let me see if I could put it up here. You know. Just quick. Matthew 10 and verse 37. Right? You say, he that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. Right? There's not the one I was looking for. It's that one that say just now. Just bear with me a minute, you know. But you know, it's not the one I was looking for. But you know, I will still go with this one. He say, Matthew 10:37, he that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. He that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And he that taketh not his cross, you know, and followeth after me is not worthy of me. You know, meaning that the trials and tribulation, you know, that we have to go through, you know, walking this thin line, you know, is something that we had to take up, that we must go through, right? So if it is that hey, we can't bear the burden and we leave and go back out into the world, you know, it have a price to pay for that. It says verse 39, it says, he that findeth his life shall lose it. You know, he said, he that findeth his life shall lose it. You know, so if you go back into this and live the truth, you know, and go back out into the world, you know, to live a sinful and adulterous, wicked life, you know, you will lose your wife, your life. So like, yeah, you know, as the scripture says, why does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul, right? Verse 39, he said, and he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it, right? So, you know, this is something that we always have to remember, that Satan is always there lurking. You know, there's always the trials, you know, tests, you know, that we have to go through in the street. You know, we always have to be mindful, you know, always keep our minds girded with the scriptures. You know, the scriptures say to gird up the loins of your mind, right? In everything we do, you know, every situation that we go through, you know, is not something permanent but temporary, right? So, you know, with that said, you know, I hope this video is edifying, you know, and until then, I say shalom.